What's up, guys? It's TechnoViking23 coming to you today with another Warframe video, and today we're actually going to be talking about the recent release of Vauban Prime Access and kind of go over whether or not it's worth it for you to buy Prime Access if you want to pick up a Prime frame or some accessories. I also want to get your guys' opinions on it, what you think about the Prime Access. And we're going to talk a little bit about the grind for getting Prime gear and items in Warframe. Now, the Vauban Prime Access pack will set you back about $80 US dollars. Not really sure what that equals to overseas, but it's probably going to be quite a bit more expensive. And $80 is a pretty steep price to pay just to access one Warframe, but you do get a couple of other things with that. You will get 2,625 Platinum with the Vauban Prime Access pack, which is a very decent discount rate on Platinum. You get the Vauban Prime Warframe, and you get the Fragor Prime, which is kind of like a giant hammer you can smash things with. You get the Stiletto Prime, which is kind of a dual machine pistol. And you get the Vauban Prime Avatars. So that's really what every Prime pack pretty much entails. You'll get a couple of weapons, you'll get the Prime frame, and you get a bunch of Platinum. And then they've also got the Vauban Prime Accessories pack, which that comes with a couple of different accessory items, cosmetic items for your frames. Now, the big thing about the accessories pack is it's $60, so it's still fairly expensive, but it does come with a 90-day affinity and credit booster, which that is about 3 months worth of credit and affinity boosting, and that is actually pretty valuable. And it also does come with 1,365 Platinum. Most of the Prime accessory packs come with very similar. So you do have to kind of look at it in terms of, I guess, how you play the game, because the Vauban Prime itself, you can actually get in the game. You can farm it. You go looking to see where the parts drop for it. Although from what I've seen so far, the drop rate on the Vauban Prime is really bad. It's about 5% when you're doing these missions. That's something I'm going to get into at the end of the video when I talk about the grind with trying to get these primes. But in terms of a value, if you're someone who's maybe gotten into Warframe, you've been playing for a couple months, you got a good amount of time invested in the game, haven't spent any money on it, and maybe you're looking to buy some Platinum or spend some money to throw the developers, a little bit for enjoying their game, it's almost somewhat worth it. If you were, let's say, if you were considering buying a 1,000 Platinum bundle, that's $50 US for 1,000 Platinum. Now, if you look at the value of these Prime Access packs in terms of that, just looking at the accessory pack is $60. Well, you get 1,365 Platinum right there, which would already cost you well over $50 just for the Platinum alone. And then you get those affinity boost. You get the affinity booster and you get the credit booster. Both of those are 90 days. To get the equivalent of that in the market on Warframe, you have to spend about 80. I think it's 80 Platinum for a 7-day affinity booster or 7-day credit booster. So right there with those two boosters, if you were to do the equivalent, if you were to buy the same equivalent through the market up to 90 days worth, you would wind up spending about 2,000 Platinum. So that's another $100 right there. So you are getting a pretty good value packed into that accessories pack for $59.99. And like I said, if you're someone who's thinking about maybe spending some Platinum or spending some cash on the actual game, it's a decent way to go. You're going to get Platinum. You're going to get a lot of affinity to level up anything you purchase or acquire in the game, and that's going to be pretty helpful. Now, if you look at the Vauban Prime, of course, you get the Prime frame, for $80. You also do get 2,625 Platinum, which is about $120 worth of Platinum by itself, which then you of course, would be able to buy stuff in the game you want. So you're getting, again, a very good value on the Platinum return there. It's just, $80 is kind of steep, especially for stuff you can actually get while you're playing the game. And which this kind of brings me to my next point. I wanted to kind of go over what you get with these packages, kind of give you guys an idea. Now, I personally have spent a little bit of money here and there on Platinum. I have not bought any of the Prime stuff, but I have actually purchased some of the Renown packs that come out for PS4. They have some cosmetic items and some Platinum boosters in them and things. Just because, I felt like the game was worth spending a little bit of money on. I've gotten a ton of time out of Warframe, really enjoying the game. I'm well over 100 hours now. I've only been playing for about a little over 2 months and really having a good time with it. Obviously, you guys are seeing a lot of videos from Warframe popping up on my channel. And I really like the game. I think the developers do a pretty good job with the game. I think they do a pretty good job putting the money back into the game because all the updates to Warframe are usually pretty large. They do a good job of listening to the community, implementing changes to weapons and things to balance the game. And overall, I think they just do a really good job with it. Some people may disagree, and that's fine. But for a free-to-play game, I think, honestly, Warframe delivers as good of an experience as just about any game out there you'd pay, $60 plus DLC for. And again, as I've shown in some of my guides, you can get pretty much anything you want in this game just playing the game for free, as long as you know where to go, what to do in terms of farming effectively. So I don't mind throwing the developers a little bit of money. These Prime packs are a little steep in price, and some of you guys may kind of balk at that. But like I said, I haven't spent anything on that level yet with this game. But if you're someone, like I said, who's going to look to pick up one of those big platinum bundles to buy a bunch of platinum, you might want to instead look at one of these Prime Access packs, because you do get a pretty good discounted rate on the platinum. And with that accessories pack, those 90-day credit and affinity boosters, those are really valuable in the game because they help you level up quite a bit faster. Now, a lot of people think, oh, pay to win, you can buy a Prime frame. I don't think Warframe is pay to win, honestly, because the thing with Warframe, it's like your typical MMO. If you don't know what you're doing with your weapons or your frame, you're going to look like an idiot, no matter if you earned it in-game or you actually purchased it for real cash. Because you can go out there and buy Vauban Prime. If you don't know how to play Vauban Prime, you're going to look like a moron when you're in a team with somebody trying to do stuff if you don't know how to play the frame. So like your typical MMO, this game, you really do have to learn how to use all the different items, learn how to use the different Warframes. And even when you do purchase them with Platinum, you still have to level the frame up to level 30. You still have to put formas into your Warframes. You still have to learn how to do builds. You have to learn how to mod them correctly. So it's not really, in my eyes, pay to win. It's kind of pay to speed up the process if you want to acquire something faster. Someone goes into Warframe and spends $500 on Platinum and buys a bunch of stuff isn't going to be any better than someone who went through on free-to-play and earned it all themselves. But that's going to bring me to my farming grind point here, and why some people are starting to get kind of annoyed with the grind in Warframe. Warframe is a grindy game, it can be, but I personally don't mind it for the most part, because at the end of the day, I know I'm going to get something. I know I'm going to get that item or that blueprint. I'm going to be able to craft the item I've been working on. It's not like other games with really bad RNG where you just play and play and play and you might not get what you want. You don't know if you're going to get it at the end of the day. Warframe, you're going to grind and grind, but you know at the end of the day you're going to get that item, and you're going to be able to build that item. You're going to feel satisfaction when you get that item and level it up. However, I've been doing a lot of void grinding, Auric and Derelict grinding, trying to get some Prime stuff recently. I have several Prime weapons and Warframes that I'm like 3 out of 4 parts for, or about 75% of the way finished, or 80% of the way finished with the item. I've needed the upper limb for the Paris Prime now for about 3 weeks. I need the blueprint for the Vasto Prime now for about 3 weeks. Nyx Prime, I need her blueprint, and I've been trying to get that. I've probably run well over 100 missions where it's supposed to drop to try to get that, and I just cannot seem to get it. And that's what kind of sucks about when you start grinding these Prime frames, and a lot of people are kind of complaining a little bit about this Vauban Prime Access, because Vauban Prime, his Prime parts have been added into the loot tables. And if you guys don't understand what they do, when they bring these new Prime frames out, they actually put older Prime frames and Prime weapons into the vault that you can no longer earn them. You can still trade for them, which drives up their trade value quite a bit. But they replace it with the new Prime frame. But there's so much Prime gear that you can get now in the Void that some of it's kind of diluted. And the way the rotations work on the defense missions and survival missions and things like that, there's a lot of parts that are jammed into each one of those rotations, so it may take you a long time to get what you want. Myself personally, no matter what game it is, I seem to have the worst RNG luck in the freaking world. And like I said, I've been grinding now for about 3 weeks trying to get some of these Prime items where I've already got most of them assembled. I just need that last piece, and I'm using the guides. I'm going using the wiki to find out where the stuff drops, and I'm playing those missions over and over and over and over again. And it's just disappointing because I keep getting duplicates of stuff I've already got a ton of. Like, I've gotten probably like 20 Abdana Prime blueprints, which I don't need. On the flip side, I'm able to get a lot of ducats, trade those in, and get the items to use with Baro Katir when he comes with the Void Trader. So that's a good trade-off there. I've got about 800 ducats right now that I need to spend, and can buy some Prime mods and other things with him. But at the same time, I really would like to have that Prime frame. Actually, I do have Saren Prime. I was able to get her actually surprisingly easily. I'm kind of shocked at how fast I was able to get her. But I really want some of these other. I've got a Volt Prime blueprint. I got a Loki Prime. I've got about 3 out of the 4 pieces I need to build each of those, and I just would like to get a different Prime frame to kind of try it out. Now, the Prime frames aren't necessarily any better than their normal versions in the game. That's one thing I found with Sarah Prime. When I first got her, I was like all excited, like, oh, I got a Prime frame. And then quickly realized she felt very underwhelming for being a Prime, but I had to learn how to play her. I had to learn how to use the molten spores kind of tactic with her. But once I got learned how to play her, she was pretty good, pretty effective, but not much better than normal Saren. So you're not really missing much if you don't get a Prime. That's another reason why with the Vauban Prime Access, for getting him, I don't think it's really worth it to spend that kind of money. If you were going to buy one of the Prime packs, like I said earlier, I would suggest getting the accessories pack because that's going to give you your best bang for the buck with the affinity booster and the credit booster. So, but yeah, so anyways, grinding in Warframe seems to have gotten a little bit worse when it comes to the Prime stuff in the game. And some people are saying it's because of, there's some new investors at DE who are calling the shots now, and they're trying to make people spend more money in the cash shop, which, that's a lot of stuff that goes on with other games that we won't talk about, but I don't know if that's going on with Warframe. I think it's just the fact that the Prime stuff is kind of, I don't want to say, it's oversaturated a little bit within the different missions that it can drop, especially if you're playing a defense mission or a survival mission. You've got those A, B, C rotations, and the C rotation might have 4 or 5 Prime parts associated with it, where if you're trying to grind for a certain part, you have a low chance of getting that already. Then when you mix that in and have 4 or 5 other Prime pieces that can drop in that same rotation, it's really tough to get what you want when you're relying on RNG. And some people think they're trying to do that on purpose. They're lowering the drop rates to kind of steer people into buying that Prime Access, which, I can see it, but at the same time with DE so far, I haven't seen anything from them to show me they're that kind of like crooked developer. There's some drama in the Warframe community with some banning and stuff that's going on, but I don't get into all that nonsense. For the most part, I haven't seen anything from my experience with the game that show me that they're like that. But you never know. Money rules the world. Greed can cause a lot of issues within these companies. But so far with DE, I haven't seen it. But let me know what you guys think about that, because maybe you have a different opinion. I don't know. But just love to see your guys' thoughts on the Prime Access and also how you feel about the grind for Prime items and other things in Warframe. I think it is a little frustrating at times. The normal grind in this game doesn't bother me much if I'm trying to get a new Warframe or a weapon or farm a blueprint. It doesn't really bother me too much, but I'm kind of starting to get a little irritated with running these void missions over and over and over again and just constantly getting duplicates of things that I've already picked up 7 or 8 times. I've been working on getting the Vasto Prime, the Burstin Prime, Nyx Prime. I've had all the parts for several weeks now, and it's just getting really aggravating when I keep running those missions. You do 7 or 8 capture missions in a row or something, and you keep getting that Prime part that you don't really need. You're like, I've already got 10 of those, so it can get very frustrating. Anyways, guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Like I said, let me know down below what you think about the topic. I'd love to see your comments on it. And stay tuned for more Warframe stuff from my channel. You'll be seeing a little bit more of the game coming here in the next couple of weeks. Although I am looking forward to No Man's Sky, which is coming out pretty soon. So you'll probably be seeing some stuff from that from me pretty soon. Anyways, guys, as always, thanks for watching. Hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll see you again next time.
Reinforcements available. Do you choose to leave now or continue fighting?